It is time for another good news video, gang, and that good news is that a federal judge has ruled against a Colorado law banning gun sales to folks under 21, on the very same day the law was set to take effect. Hello, and welcome back to the channel. It's weird tonight, as I just recorded my video on the SCOTUS ghost gun stay, which is pretty disappointing news. Not a loss, but still disappointing, but then I'm recording this one right after. While some of the gun control that the ATF and anti-gun groups have thrown at us over the last year or so has been pretty nasty, you have to admit, I think we've had more good news since Bruin than we typically get in any given year. And this is one of those cases. But before I get into it, today's video is brought to you by Blackout Coffee Company, the Florida-based small batch roaster whose coffee works as hard as you do. They've been a supporter of this channel for a long time and have been supporting the Second Amendment for even longer. They have amazing brews and flavors. I highly recommend the French Toast and Bananas Fosters myself. That's me. And proceeds from their partner roast go to some of your favorite gun rights groups directly. To check them out and help support the channel, go to blackoutcoffee.com/libertydoll. So this decision doesn't mean that the under 21 ban is gone for good. It's only a preliminary injunction halting enforcement. But the preliminary injunction is some good stuff, wherein Judge Philip Brimmer takes the state's argument that the people mentioned in the Second Amendment doesn't apply to 18 to 20-year-olds and throws it out ye old window. He pointed out that courts around the country have already ruled that 18 to 20-year-olds are absolutely people and absolutely have the rights granted to other adults in the Second Amendment. He wrote, "The court is persuaded by the reasoning in Range and McCraw that an interpretation of the people in the Second Amendment should begin with the assumption that every American is included. In reaching this conclusion, the court is careful not to read Heller or Bruin as limiting to whom the people refers. Moreover, the court finds that the governor has not shown a historical tradition of firearm regulation of 18 to 20-year-olds during the founding era, as opposed to him citing evidence supporting an argument that states could have regulated 18 to 20-year-olds because they lacked rights as minors. Thus, the court finds that the individual plaintiffs have shown a likelihood of success on the merits of the question of whether the Second Amendment applies to 18 to 20-year-olds. The government of Colorado also argued that, while the Second Amendment preserves the right to bear arms, there is no right to acquire said arms to bear." Seriously. To which the judge wrote, "The individual plaintiffs claim that it is settled law that constitutional rights protect closely related acts necessary to their exercise and that purchasing firearms is necessary for keeping and bearing arms. Additionally, the individual plaintiffs argue that a total prohibition on a right is not necessary to show a right is infringed. The governor argues that the individual plaintiffs have made an insufficient showing that the right to keep arms includes a right to buy firearms. Additionally, the governor argues the individual plaintiffs have not shown their right to self-defense is burdened because SB 23-169 has not gone into effect, and therefore the individual plaintiffs still have the ability to purchase firearms." That was seriously the government's argument, that the plaintiffs couldn't bring a case that the law violated their rights because the law hadn't started yet, and so there were no rights to violate. Oh, status gonna state. Finally, he addressed the case from the Bruin standards and said, "Sorry, my dudes, but there is no valid history here, and the government's examples of a handful of 18th century rules on college campuses was indeed a stretch. The government is 100% going to appeal to the 10th Circuit because what else are they going to do? I'm not going to call it an automatic win because we've still had a couple of outlandish rulings peppered here and there, but it's a damn good start." That is it for this one, guys. You know the drill. Please like, share, and subscribe if you are new here. Ring that notification bell because otherwise YouTube will never tell you of any new videos. And as always, thanks for tuning in and happy shooting.